Two of the accused in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial have denied being at a hotel in Vosloorus on the day that the soccer star was killed. This after the state's current witness on the stand, Constable Sizwe Zungu, testified that he was in the company of all five of the accused during a get-together hosted by his nephew on that fateful day. Accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, denies knowing Zungu. Earlier, the court had to warn all the accused after accused number 5, Fisokuhle Ntuli, on Thursday made a gesture similar towards pulling a trigger towards Zungu. So it's been a lot happening in court this week on a Friday. Let's speak to Griselda Lewis, SABC News reporter, who has been on top of it all. Griselda, can you wrap up for us the latest developments?
Well, that's right, Francis. You would recall that the testimony that Constable Zungu gave was that he was invited by his nephew to a hostel that's in Vosloorus, and on the 26th of October 2014, on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, this is where all the accused had gathered with his nephew and himself, and there'd been some sort of gathering where meat was eaten and a lot of alcohol was consumed. But what we're hearing today from accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, and accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, they basically deny being part of any gathering that Constable Sizwe Zungu's nephew had hosted at the Sutu hostel that's in Vosloorus on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. But Zungu stuck to his version. Let's take a listen.
Both accused number 1 and 2 will deny that they were at Gwabine's place on the 26th of October 2014.
That is just a lie.
So Sibiya and Ntanzi both claim they were not even in the province when Senzo Meyiwa was killed, Francis. The one says he had left Gauteng in about 2013, and the other says that he'd taken some leave from work and had basically headed towards KwaZulu-Natal to Nongoma. Let's take a listen to what the accused version of where they were on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, what they had to tell the court.
Accused number 1 will state that in 2013 until March 2013, he was staying at Vosloorus hostel at Basotweni section, but when he lost employment in March 2013, he returned home and stayed home until he returned again to stay with his uncle in Tembisa in 2015.
I wouldn't know where he was working when he lost his employment. We have never discussed that.
The basis of that proposition to you is essentially this, that since March 2013, he's never returned to Johannesburg or Gauteng until 2015.
I saw him in Vosloorus. I was with him, drank beer with him, and I'm the one who dropped him.
Accused number 2 will state that at the time of the shooting incident of the deceased Senzo Meyiwa, he was employed at Sibanye Stillwater in Carltonville, and for that weekend he had obtained unpaid leave from the 27th of October 2014 to the 31st of October 2014.
27 October 2014 till?
The 31st of October 2014.
There's nothing that I can say. I know nothing about his employment, but what I do know is that I saw him on the 26th of October 2014.
Now, Zungu had also testified that accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, who had disappeared for a while from the hostel on that particular fateful day, had changed his jacket, you'd recall, Francis, on his return from wherever it was that they'd gone to. This is an assertion that Ntanzi denies. While Zungu says he has known Ntanzi from back home, Ntanzi says he does not even know Zungu at all.
Accused number 2 himself says he doesn't know you in total. We just seen you here yesterday in court.
If that was said or was coming from accused number 3, 4, and 5, I would have agreed with you. From where I was born, or back home where I was born. He is from Ntanzi. So he is from the Ntanzi family. And my grandmother is from the Ntanzi family.
Oh, I see.
So by birth, he is from the Ntanzi family.
So lots of denials inside court this morning with accused 1 and 2 saying that they were basically not in Vosloorus at that particular gathering on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, as the Constable Zungu has testified in the High Court in Pretoria. What was scheduled to happen next, Francis, was that the lawyer representing accused number 3, Advocate Charles Mnisi, was due to begin his cross-examination, but court had to adjourn early as Advocate Charles Mnisi, who represents accused number 3, refused to cross-examine Zungu. Mnisi basically wanted the original notes that Zungu had taken about the events that unfolded at that hostel. And this is due to some of the names of the accused being placed incorrectly. Now, this in a statement that was taken by police. So what is scheduled to take place this weekend is that while we understand that Zungu is being guarded heavily by police, you would have heard in that intro that you read there, Francis, that there were some gestures that were made by accused number 5, Fisokuhle Ntuli, inside court yesterday that resemble a trigger towards the witness. It seems that Zungu's security has also been, ramped up quite significantly. And this weekend, when he was asked about those notes that he had taken, the presiding judge, asking him where those notes were, he said some were with him here in the province, some were with, at his home in KwaZulu-Natal. So the judge basically saying that he needs to be taken to KwaZulu-Natal to go and pick up some of those notes so that some verifications can be made due to some of these errors that have been made about the certain names of the accused put in the wrong places in those statements, which could cause a significant problem in terms of the credibility of what he says, is his version, of course, in terms of what happened on that day. So we're expecting him back on the stand on Monday, but of course he'll be taken to KwaZulu-Natal, and this is where he's going to pick up those notes, but under heavy security, we understand.